We were just saying we were reviewing this from the gallows. Because this is the parking lot we reviewed that we're in, like, the school parking lot right by my place. That was a weird sentence. Well, we got out of Barbershop, the next cut, and I wish I had hair. What's it like going to a barbershop? It seems really fun.
I can't think of the last time I've actually been to a barbershop. I was probably like 13. Like, I actually used to go to like an actual like barber shop.
Yeah.
But then I moved, and it's like I could try to find a barber shop that's not just. Well, like, all the barbershops that are here in town are either really douchey or they're just, like, for lack of a better term, like, they're like a black barbershop. Like, it's like, you know, it's like...
Half of them are in the mall. That's, like, all our mall is. It's, like...
There are a lot of hair places in the mall for some
It's
reason.
hair places and clothing places. That's all. There's a hair salon in the fucking food court in our mall.
Which I have always found to be kind of,
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, like, it shares a wall with, like, that little, like, Chinese place.
Yeah. That's some good, cheap Chinese, too.
I haven't tried it. I wasn't sure if it was
Oh,
good or
I
not.
used to go there all the time. I mean, it always has changed its name, but it's more or less the same. There was one reason why I really wanted to go see this, and I actually haven't seen the other two movies, and because of that...
Or the spin-off.
Or Beauty Shop. I haven't seen Beauty Shop either. So because of it, not that I thought the trailers of this movie looked fine, but I thought, like, well, I haven't seen the others, so at first I was gonna be like, well, I don't know, maybe you and Irving want to go see this or something. And
I haven't seen any of the other ones.
you haven't seen the other ones either?
No.
Why?
Yes, why haven't I seen a movie about a barbershop? Well, so many reasons.
I mean, you've seen the Medea movies. I mean, like...
You made me. It's like I fucking went out and was like watching. I'm like, hey, you want to see a Medea Christmas? Like, absolutely. I paid my own money to see Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Of course I'll do this one on your dime.
Oh, thanks, man. I knew it was a stupid question.
It was.
Well, there's somebody... I noticed this on IMDb the other day, that Tequila's in this movie. So I had to go see it. Brad Sanders is in this movie. Very briefly.
The guy who voiced a talking dog
I had to
30 years ago.
20 years ago. I had to support Tequila, so I knew what his character's name was in the movie. So I from IMDb, I knew his character's name was Eugene. So throughout the movie, I'm like, when's he gonna pop up? When's he gonna be here? And so there's a part where they're at the bar, and suddenly there's a part where Cedric the Entertainer and Ice Cube are at the bar. Cedric the Entertainer goes like, hey, Eugene. I'm like, oh, is this it? And then you hear, yo, what's up, Eddie? Like, it's him! And then I lean over to you, like, that was Tequila.
You think it was that quiet, but like all of a sudden, like, it's a poignant moment, like Ice Cube's talking about like quitting and like starting up a different shop, like up on like North Chicago. And, like, they're just sitting there having a drink, and like it gets real quiet and nobody's talking. It's just a thoughtful moment of them just sitting there like. It's one of those moments where you just gotta look at your drink and sigh at it a few times before...
I've had plenty.
And then, right at that moment, it's like, that's Tequila. I'm like... At first, not having any fucking idea what you're talking about. Like,
What
like,
other tequila would I be talking about?
No, he just ordered a double Hennessy.
You thought I was pointing out the drink?
I was very confused for a moment. They're in a bar setting, and you say, that was tequila. It's like, the guy, that was tequila from Tequila and Benetti. And then they both drank to that.
It was too late though, because he had no more lines. It took 10 times longer for us to talk about his part in this movie than he is actually in. But to be fair, I was still, in saying that to you, that was tequila. I was still one of the quietest ones in that theater.
I was enjoying
those people behind us were awesome.
There was a good turnout for the movie, and there were like two couples behind us.
Yeah, did they almost get in a fight at one point?
There was almost like actually a fight between this guy and the girl he was there with.
Yeah,
because part of the plot of this one, it's like a little like side plot, one of like 1,000 side plots in this movie. Honestly, the entire movie is side plots, but
it's an ensemble, yeah.
But yeah, is that, and for some reason it's all like like they're all like musicians, but there's a married couple in there if you've seen the other ones, Common and Eve, Rashad and Terry, and like Nicki Minaj works in like the beauty shop part of it, and the other two work in like the barbershop side. They're married, and Nicki Minaj is just constantly trying to like hit on Common. And there's a scene like, you know, she's definitely like she needs a ride home, and she's definitely leading him on crazy style. He kind of like shuts her down, and then she gets all defensive about it. It's like, I wasn't trying to hit on you. That's bullshit. And starts like walking away, and he has like this 5-minute conversation with himself in his car about how, like, yeah, I could have hit that. Like, oh, she wanted it. She wanted it bad. Like,
It was pretty funny.
It was funny though. Like, it was like it was a good little scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then for like the next like 10 minutes of the movie, these two couples behind us get involved in this very like heated like they have already started having this argument before.
Yeah.
And like it was just like seeing that scene was like, see, this is the type of shit I was telling you about the other day, like that kind of thing. And they just like picked up in mid argument and just started going back and forth about like all this shit about like everything involved with that particular type of situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, well, he could have hit it. Like, oh, well, you know, like, it's like, oh, his fucking wife. Like, she's kind of a bitch anyway. Like, it was just all fucking out there. And like it got to the point where like that gal that was sitting right behind me was like, it's like, really? We really doing this right now? You want to fight right now? You want to fight this out right here? It's like, shit, man, I'm just...
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
Like,
why couldn't this have happened in the Jungle Book? In that audience. And nothing like that. I would have made that movie more entertaining. Just for some reason. Yeah, man. No, dude. Like, I'm on Team Shere Khan, man. Fuck you. He's just looking out for his other tigers. They burnt his face, motherfucker. You want to fight?
You go to a movie like that, you gotta expect that they're just gonna give you the bare necessities.
Bo, bo, bo. It's a fight about the good life.
Oh, Jesus.
I actually really fucking like this movie.
No,
like a lot.
It's actually a really fucking funny movie.
Mm-hmm. It makes me want to see the other ones, quite honestly. Like, there's no reason why I haven't seen the other ones. It's just a couple of movies that, for some reason or another, I just really never got around to watching. It wasn't that I thought they looked bad. It was just, I just never came across them. And then in sitting through this, I'm like, wow, this is actually like a really funny, smart, provocative little movie.
Like, I think the reason why like I've never watched them is just like the other ones kind of came out during that time when Ice Cube was just kind of saying yes to any movie that would...
Oh, like, are we there yet?
Yeah, so it was
Triple X State of the Union.
he was just kind of showing up in everything, like Daddy Day Camp and shit like that.
That was Eddie Murphy,
wasn't he?
And then the sequel.
The sequel?
No, the sequel is Cuba Gooding Jr. Daddy Day Camp.
Oh no, I guess I'm thinking of just there was that whole line of those. Are we there yet? It's done.
Oh yeah, there was at least 2 of those, and then a TV series. Because
that was necessary.
Yeah.
But
no, I know what you mean. It came out around when he was pumping out a bunch. I mean, granted, he still kind of does.
but like by the same token, it's the sort of thing like there's probably several actors out there that I've probably missed decent movies of because they get set on putting out just a string of like really shitty ones. Like I figure I've probably missed at least one good De Niro movie in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm sorry, like, look at all of the other De Niro movies we've gotten in the past 10 years. Like,
if it's David O. Russell, it'll probably be a pretty good De Niro movie.
Yeah, but then I go to see like fucking like New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, and Irving and I were at Dirty Grandpa, which was Irving and I kind of laughing at it, and we felt like idiots for it, but we were like, I don't know, this is kind of hitting my sweet spot of like shitty comedies.
There's that fine line where comedy is so dumb that it goes back to being enjoyable.
Sorta, yeah. And De Niro just hurling out a bunch of obscenities. I don't know, it was kind of doing it. But no, this one, there's a lot of really great dialogue back and forth. It's great. It feels natural. It feels
natural, but it's really quick and it's really punchy. Like not quite like Tarantino or like Kevin Smith type speed, where like you can have like 5 or 6 people having a conversation, just rapid goddamn fire. But like it stays lively. Like it never like there's never really like a lull. Like there's always somebody pitching in, and the cast in this one is
damn
really
good. Winston, man, being as quirky and weird as on New Girl.
Yeah, it's like I just have to like. You could reasonably assume that like I don't know, like Winston took like a summer to go back to like Chicago with Nick Miller, and this is what he did.
Yeah, he just started working in a barbershop for like a few months. Dion Cole in this movie.
Fucking Dion Cole killed it, man.
Yeah, I could watch so much of just Dion Cole reacting to shit, because he's doing a lot of that in this. There are probably like 20-minute sequences that are really just kind of back and forths in this barbershop, and they're talking about everything from Battle of the Sexes to women's ideals of men and men's fantasy images of women, and then going into politics, racism, all this kind of stuff, but being humorous.
Yeah, it kind of hits about anything that you can really think of, but it never really veers into too much of like there was once or twice where it got kind of like, it's like, to dial it back, guys, it's still a comedy.
Well, I mean, it still felt natural.
But it's still like it had a message to it, and it had a point.
Yeah.
And at least like even if it did seem like maybe like like for a comedy you're getting like one step maybe too far, like into serious territory, but like it still kept like it didn't like screw up its message at all.
No, not at all. And throughout this, you have a Dion Cole sitting there,
just doing weird shit,
reacting, just reading a magazine, a newspaper, putting at one point. I believe.
He's just practicing his golf swing.
Yeah,
and then somebody say something dumb. He's like, oh. Fucking crazy eyes, just slack jawed, just staring at people. Like it's like even when like he's not even the focus in the scene. You can just see him in the background.
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 people back in the background. Like it's like I don't even know if he knew he was on screen and just doing shit.
What helps it feel natural is that, like, say Winston does something and then is kind of taken aback or confused by something that he said, another conversation will start, and you'll still see Winston there in the background, still like kind of like confused or reacting to whatever he just said prior.
Looking around, trying to do something, like
Mm-hmm.
that one point, like he nicked some dude in the head, like while he was like falling asleep doing his hair. And then, like, the rest of the movie is still going on. You can just see him in the background, like trying to, like, fix this guy's hair for, like, 10 goddamn minutes. It's like, he is committed to that.
Mm-hmm. I did like how real this movie got, because it's about these people who, they work in this barbershop, and they have, like, their world in there and everything, but that particular side of Chicago is kind of getting worse and worse. There's a lot more violence, there's a lot more gang activities, and Ice Cube is worried his son is going to end up part of this gang, and it's looking like it's certainly going in that direction. So the movie touches upon a lot of really serious issues, but it's also not... There's a part in the movie where they want to have a ceasefire in that area, and they're giving away free haircuts, but the movie's not naive enough to think, like, we're giving away free haircuts, this is going to stop all violence in Chicago.
Yeah, well, even, like, their viewpoint of it, like, this was going around, like, some, like, idea that, like, the city council in this movie was floating of, like, kind of... like fencing off some of the streets in that area to basically kind of like create like one solid like traffic flow through the area as a way to try to like help curb violence. And even with that, they're like, it's like, yeah, okay, we get everybody to stop shooting each other for 2 days. We give out some free haircuts.
Someone then, still gets killed.
Yeah. And then they're still like, and then, you know, and then what? Then the city council votes because they have no fucking care what's going on over here, and they still put up the goddamn fences. Like, it's like, let's not fool ourselves. Like, this isn't gonna do shit. It's just like if it keeps a couple people from dying, like this weekend, like, all right, you know, fuck, that's a win. Yeah,
it's about them coming together to try to make things better because they care. They care about themselves. They care about their business, their neighborhood, their family, and everything. And it's just a little something they're trying to do to fucking make shit better in their area.
Yeah, I do like that, though, that it's not one of those movies where it's like, fuck everything from, like, Step Up 4 to, like, fucking...
like, Breakin'.
Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, we did one thing right. Like, forget about that whole contract deal. Like, I'll stop building this casino here on your impoverished neighborhood. You guys are fantastic. Whee! Like, it's not like... I mean, it still ends up at the end of the thing, like, they decide not to do it. Like, the enclosure thing around that neighborhood. But even then, like, it's because it, like, kind of makes sense. Like, they kind of showed, like, yeah, I mean... trying to make the neighborhood better. They're like, all right, we'll give them a chance. But it wasn't like, I mean, even at that, like, I mean, it was still kind of open-ended because, like, the guy was just having a press conference, like, days or weeks before the actual, like, you know, committee vote to do that. I mean, they could still very well enforce that. And
then the president shows up at the end. That was a little silly.
That was a step or two too far.
It's like, on the plus side, at least that was like an end credits scene, because that's going on when the end credits are going on.
Yeah, it didn't happen like during like the
man, yeah, like that would have been a little much. So it happens in the ending credits, and there were a couple times that I kind of snickered in that scene, but I was like, this is a little much. This is all right. It was keeping it real there for a while, and then.
But I mean, at least to be fair, like,
I mean, he's from Chicago.
I mean, hell yeah, one of the last. Well, actually, I think it was one of the first times he went back through Chicago after the first election. Like, it made some like big deal. Like, he stopped and just like it's like, oh, here, pull over here, just go in here and get a fucking hot dog.
Like, I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not an impossible thing that would happen. I mean, that's very true.
The last time he was here in town, like, they made, like, a big deal, like, he stopped over at, like, the feed store for, like, fucking soup.
Yeah.
Alright.
I've never been to the feed store.
Thing that happens. It's good food, it's just fucking possible to get in there during a time when they're open, and their hours are just so bizarre sometimes. Like, I've gone there during times when they should be open and they're not. But yeah, like, your best chance of getting anything in there is like on like noon on like a weekday. At which point, everyone who works downtown is also in there.
Yeah, I'm probably at home ordering Jimmy John's or something. There was some silliness in the movie. Like, like Nicki Minaj's ass is probably in this movie more than her face. I mean, after a while, it was like, I mean, all right, yeah, I mean, impressive, my God, like, holy shit. But when it gets to the point to where they're filming, a little like promo video for their ceasefire weekend to put on Twitter, and you're sitting there watching the movie, and it's literally just Nicki Minaj shaking her ass in front of the camera for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. She's in this movie. I get it.
They wanted to make sure that you knew that her ass was in the movie, too.
Oh.
And it was.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, it should have at least got, like, a starring credit.
Yeah. Her ass is in the movie more than Brad Sanders is. And that is being hyperbolic with the other thing I said. That thing I said is literally true. Her ass is in this movie more than Brad Sanders is.
You know what the worst part about him being in this was?
That Benetti wasn't in it.
You see, like, him, like, reaching over, like, set something down, and you hear him talking in the background, and then it pans to a higher angle, and then you see, like, a guy walking away from the bar. Mm-hmm. You never actually see him talk.
So it could have been just Tequila in the bar. Exactly. I can't remember if when you heard the, yo, Eddie, glad you could make it. I can't remember, because, I mean, it shows him. It does show him as the bartender, but when he's talking, I can't remember if he was in frame when his voice was there. So yeah, the dog very well could have been in the bar.
The dog is there, and he's just sitting next to the bartender. Mm-hmm.
Well, Tequila will soon be seen in the next episode of Lloyd. He's got to find his missing burrito. The animators are very excited about this. Trying Tequila and Benetti. We've been pitching back a bunch of ideas with each other and everything. It's gonna be great. No, but like, even with what Nicki Minaj's outfits in this movie, she's like a slasher movie character. She is wearing less and less as the movie goes on.
There's one scene where she's talking about, like, I'm worried to walk home alone. And she's standing there, like, her outfit is literally, like, a 6-inch heel.
Yeah.
Like, skin tight, like, fucking high-waisted jeans. And then just 2 bras. Mm-hmm. And not, like normal, like, outerwear. No, it's just, like, 2 bras. She's just wearing 2 bras. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, no, I'd be worried about you trying to walk home, too. Like,
yeah.
Like, that seems like the sort of thing, like, he could have very... I still don't think easily explained to his wife, but I'm like it's like, look, I had to give her a ride home. She was only wearing a bra. Like, it still doesn't exactly hold a lot of...
Like, I can explain, alright?
Like, look, she didn't have a shirt on already.
Yeah.
Bad start. Let me try again.
Look, it was Nicki Minaj, alright? I had to give Nicki Minaj a ride home. In my defense, she looked amazing.
Well, what sucks is, usually when you have a movie like this, where you have notable people in it. Like, they kept mentioning stuff like Kanye, like, all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye exists in this world. But I have to assume that Nicki Minaj doesn't.
I assume she does, because she was just playing Nicki Minaj in this movie.
But, like, that could have at least been, like, it's like, no, like, Drea, who works at the shop, like, she was, like, bitch looking like Nicki Minaj, like wearing, like, an outfit you would wear when you're performing at a concert, and you wear goofy shit that you don't wear in real life.
She is, like, performance-wise, she is good in this. Really, everyone is.
She honestly, like, she honestly does, like, a solid job acting. Like, a lot of times, like, when it's, like, you just randomly plop a celebrity into a role, just because they're famous, just because they're used to being in front of cameras,
like Kardashian and Temptation,
does not mean that they know how to act.
No, she was solid in this. I was looking, I was like, damn, she looks amazing in this movie. And then, like, her voice, I would be like, oh, her voice sounds a lot like this girl I used to date a while ago. So I'm like, it's a little distracting. Other than that, she's amazing.
Aside from that one part that I don't like, she did good.
Exactly.
So really what you're saying is you prefer women when they just keep their damn mouths shut.
Yes. No, I'm just saying, like,
to say to that.
I'm saying when you date someone for a while who has a very thick, specific type of accent, and then you see another accent that's near fucking identical, for about 30 seconds or so in your head, you'll kind of be like, I remember that voice. Oh, right. Forgot about the time I dated Janice from Friends. I'm gonna go home and watch some Friends later.
Janice, she was a real charmer.
Oh my god. Chandler Bing. Actually, Chandler, this is your baby. What? I'm kidding you, goof. We haven't slept with each other in 2 years. That's a classic. Do you remember that one?
I vaguely remember, like, it's been a long time since I've watched any Friends.
Oh, see, you can't get me started on Friends. I'll be talking for the next several hours. That was the one where Rachel was giving birth to Emma. And there was a bunch of different, it was a two-parter, and there was a bunch of different people coming into, like, her area, because she had to share her room, and then the other girls kept going into labor, which kept pissing Rachel off, because she's sitting there for, like, hours. And then, I believe it was the second part, is when Janice and her husband come in, and it worked out because her husband's hard of hearing, so he doesn't mind her thick accent.
That I remember that I remember.
I think that's also the one where Monica and Chandler are trying to get pregnant, so they're banging in other parts of the hospital, and they get caught by Monica's dad.
Oh no.
It happens. Just like in real life. Oh, I highly recommend this movie. I do, honestly. Like, it's probably one of the better movies that's playing out there right now. I recommend this way more than I do The Jungle Book, honestly. Which wasn't a bad movie, but it was whatever. This one's a much smarter movie. It's a much more entertaining movie. I was way more invested in this film and in every single one of its characters and its plots and subplots than in a lot of different things that are playing in theaters now.
There was honestly only one part about this that I wasn't 100% with.
Which one?
And I realized like it was an important motivator for like the actual kind of like central plot to it, but I could not give a fuck about those kids.
Oh, that didn't bother me.
I don't know, like that the one who was supposed to be like Ice Cube's kid. I don't know, when he's trying to act cool, when he's trying to act like some little thug out there, like none of that like kid just wasn't doing it for me.
I mean, I cared about that situation because of how much Ice Cube cared about that situation. And Ice Cube is incredibly likable in this movie. Both of the parents are. So I felt for his situation.
Well, no, at least like on his part of things, like as a concerned dad and everything like that. Like no, like he did a really good job. But like when you have scenes where it was like just like that kid like acting like opposite Tyga. Like which he did a fantastic job.
Totally.
And then you have this kid trying to like act opposite him, like trying to look tough, and he doesn't look tough.
No, I don't think he was supposed to look tough.
But even at that, like he just, I don't know, like that kid, like it just wasn't doing it for me.
No, I mean like the kid could, if I had to rank my favorite characters in this movie, that kid would not be on the top of the list at all. It wouldn't even be in the top of my list in my favorite performances of the movie, but it didn't bother me because of, well, like I said, because of how centric that was to Ice Cube's plot, and also the scenes where it's just the kids are probably only a few scenes of the movie.
Well, I know, but it just, I don't know, it
What you got against dreadlocks?
No, it was just one of those things where it was like everything else was so solid, and then like that kid just was underwhelming as an actor, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would, it's like I said, he wouldn't have been one of my favorite ones in the movie, but I didn't have as big a problem with it as you did, I guess, but there were a couple other things that I thought were lesser about the movie than that particular instance, like whether it was like the scene with the president, or
yeah, that was that was still pretty bad as far as things go. But at least it was honestly a callback joke. Yeah,
it was. They did set it up.
So I mean, it was kind of telegraphed.
I think the only thing coming out next week is Huntsman, the Huntsman Winter's War. I believe that's the only thing, unless there's some other religious movie that I don't know that's coming out next week. I have no idea.
They sneak those in.
They've done that. That's how I fucking got blindsided by Old Fashioned. Fuck. What a horrible day.
I just remember earlier today, I was sitting at my desk at work, and I started thinking, I'm like, wait a second, like on like a couple different websites, or like on like Instagram, like I kept seeing like a lot of stuff from like you know, different people like talking about like you know, the premiere of like Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, the fuck is the other movie tonight? It's like, motherfucker, if like, you know, if it's like, oh man, Captain America's playing, it's like, hey, do you want to go see Barbershop? Sitting there like, I'm about to be real pissed, and like I look online like, okay,
I wouldn't
like,
do that.
Okay.
Like that's typically when I'm like, all right, we're doing movies on like Thursday and Friday, you know. Usually like I mean, this isn't always the case, but like usually with that's typically the only thing that's coming out, or at least the only thing that's got a pre-screening. Like I remember with the Avengers and a couple other big tentpole movies, like that was like the only thing that was being pre-screened.
I remember, I can't remember if it was this last winter or the one before, but there was like some big movie that came out in like December, and there was just some.
Oh,
It's like-
I know what you're talking about. Star Wars opening opposite Chipmunks.
That was the that was one. And I think they did something similar to that the year before too.
Probably.
Just like a complete throwaway movie. Like we know no one's gonna go watch.
Yeah.
This.
Any final thoughts on the movie?
No. I mean, it's a solid flick. Like it's a good comedy. It actually does have like a fair amount of heart to it. But like I like that it's funny and it's an R-rated comedy.
Is it
But-
R-rated?
I would assume so.
I thought the others were PG-13.
I mean, either that or they told them like you can say like
They said fuck once.
like unless they stuck to just like you can have like one fuck, you can have like you can say shit like 10 times, you can say,
They do that a lot.
like so unless they stuck exactly to the guideline and didn't step over the line, like I don't maybe it is still PG-13, but I mean at least they if it's PG-13 it's pushing to the limit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's never like it never resorts to like the kind of comedy you see in most movies nowadays where it's just like extreme like
The Boss that Irving and I had to see last week.
yeah,
That could fuck off.
just like going out of its way just to be as raunchy as possible just for the sake of a laugh. Like, it's funny because she's talking about like twats and like dicks and shit. Like,
This movie respects its audience way the fuck more than anything like The Boss does.
no, I like that it didn't have to resort to like extremes to get a laugh. It's just funny.
It's just human. It's funny. It's a good time. I highly recommend the movie. So all right, we'll be back next week with The Huntsman Winter's War, which I'm sure is exactly the same.
It looks like it's the same plot as the other one, so
With Frozen in there.
well, yeah.
See ya.